Welcome to the Garnet and Old Show. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. I'm Ryan Big Papa East reporting live from the new Captain Black's fishing studio in Vidalia, Georgia, alongside my co-host Vince Ciccarelli. Vince, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine. Is it Vidalia? You're close to Vidalia, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes. That's the close biggest time. It's technically Cobbtown, Georgia, but no one knows what the hell that is.
Oh, I know where that is. I know where that is. Hey, how about the big win this past weekend, Ryan?
Yeah, the big basketball win, right?
The big win. I'm going to make sure we shout out the people that support this show. Let's start with Captain John Black. I spent a good deal of time with Captain John Black this past weekend. We both participated in the Marching Chiefs alumni band, had a great time. There's a good turnout for that. I got some stories to go along with homecoming when we get to that point, Ryan. And I also want to shout out the Palace Saloon. The Palace Saloon, a tradition in Tallahassee, located, within a throw, within a Tommy Castellanos deep shot to Micah Danzy or Deuce. It's located at 1303 Jackson Bluff Road in Tallahassee. If you are familiar with Tally, you were a student, you know where the Palace is. I shouldn't have to give you the address. But you need to go back and let them know that Garnet and Old sent you. They are the tailgate sponsor for the Garnet and Old show.
Now, I have to ask the people, aside from the dark area right here, which will be lit up more, I just have to get more stuff done. Fully, not completely moved, but 90% there. What do you guys think in the chat of the new digs here? Not doing a virtual background anymore. Although I will be honest with you, the virtual background it did its job for quite a long time.
It did.
But
Yeah, I
now
mean,
you
you
have
had to
real
do
Big
it.
Papa East.
You had to do the virtual one for a while because of the situation you were in, but now you can start outfitting behind you so you can get the Captain Black's uh, Georgia realm there. I love it. There's a
I
comment
also
here in
feel
the
more
chat we got to
evenly
get to,
lit.
but
Is it just me, or do I just feel
no,
more evenly lit than I used to?
yeah, the lighting there is actually pretty good. And we won't. I won't. I've already made some suggestions to you about the low riding you got going on there.
It's the highest this chair will go, though. This isn't my
But
real computer chair. This is everyone in their office at home always has like a backup chair.
no, it's your backup chair.
So
I got
the
you.
real chair will be here this weekend after the final move. It just wouldn't fit in my truck this fast week.
Well,
Do
then I
some.
think you'll be a little higher then. So
That's I bet I will be Panama Red.
Panama Red.
But yeah, Vince, it feels good to have my office set up, and I think it's I like the corner angle. This is what I call the JCS
Yeah.
view.
I'm just happy that you can, pretty soon be able to just stay in one place.
Well,
And I
let's
know that's been
let's
tricky for you.
let's kick off our first discussion about, because I saw the image you made was perfect for the recruiting, but I want to kick off that topic with one of our watchers here.
Yeah.
Jimbo
We
wouldn't
should
be
start
losing
with
these
that.
recruits.
No, Jimbo would not be losing these recruits. That's a fact. I'm not denying that fact at all. Jimbo would not lose those recruits.
But
They may not put forth any effort for him, but he would not lose the recruits.
yeah, we've lost some big ones, Vince.
We had the
But
one that came today was um, that was a punch. I kind of thought that was going
yeah,
to happen, but
is anyone surprised though?
no, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, if you're surprised, then where have you been? Like, any team, big name team, even if you have NIL and you start having a bad year, you're gonna, and the coach is on the more than the hot seat, where it's like he might be fired anytime. Um, I have a feeling the recruiting might suffer. So for people who are saying, like, you know, shake my head like Mike on this, and here's the thing: if we fired him last week, you would still have lost these
You would
recruits.
you would still lose them.
You would probably lost more by now, because you have to assume there's some that say, hey, maybe he makes it.
Yeah, I almost forgot to kick off our goal here, Ryan, which I just did. So just so everybody knows, I just kicked off the goal, $100 goal. Every week we have a $100 goal. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes you get a recruit, sometimes you don't, Ryan. Sometimes, you win a game, sometimes you lose. So that's just kind of the way it is. We're 4-4. It's a little lukewarm. It's a little lukewarm here. So, but that's the goal tonight. In order to help us achieve that goal, you can super chat us. That'll make sure that your comment gets read. Um, or you can Venmo us too. We had someone Venmo us last week, which was fantastic. So that's the goal we're trying to get tonight.
You know what made my week though, Vince? Last week.
The U going down?
Yeah. I mean, what a predictable outcome in the month of
In
late
November,
October, early
or late
November.
October, November. Yeah. I mean, I'd much rather win than have rivals lose. So we got the best of both this weekend, actually.
Mm-hmm. In a weird way, yes, that is absolutely true. Uh, of course, you would like better circumstances, right, of the year, the whole thing. But before we get deep diving on Florida State, I do want to, any week that our rivals, all our rivals, lose,
Mm,
that doesn't suck.
no, it was. I mean, I kind of thought we were going to win our game, but you never know these days, right? You never know who's going to show up and what's going to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a nice TV going, brought to you by our friends Parker Rollin and the family. Brought a nice big TV to the tailgate, and we were watching games. We watched Miami, flitter that one away as
Mm-hmm.
Miami can and often does. And there was a lot of joy at the tailgate because of that, because obviously they're a rival. But I also had a good friend of mine there who's a Gator, also enjoyed watching Miami lose that game. Of course, Florida then lost their game as well.
It looked like they were going to win that game for a minute, though.
Yeah, it did. It did.
But let's talk about Florida State. So it's not like there's going to be an update on Mike's situation, because there wouldn't have been, because he won. The only way you're going to get change in that is probably if he had lost. But I'm going to ask you first, Vince, and I'll give you my answer.
Hmm.
Does the Wake win change anything for you?
It doesn't for me. No,
Okay.
I still am of the opinion that there probably should be a change at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Um, the fact that this past few days you've seen just a litany of 3-star recruits commit to Florida State. I don't need that. I need and don't come at me with I'll take 3 stars with heart. You know,
How
uh,
about 4 stars with heart
yeah,
and 5 stars with heart?
this has been going on long enough. The recruiting has been going on long enough, and rankings have been going on long enough that there is a direct correlation to the more higher ranked players you have, the better and more consistent team and consistent depth you have on your team.
Yeah.
So, are there one? Are there no stars that became Hall of Famers? Sure, but that is you don't want to bank on the once in a lifetime. So
Yeah, you're
while
talking
I'm
hit rate.
while I'm happy that there are still kids with ability out there that want to go to Florida State, uh, I it's just not good enough. What's happening is not good enough
This
from a
kind of
Florida
sums it
State
up, don't you
standpoint.
think? So they took those 3 stars because they knew they were going to lose, the 4 stars. Yeah, so
Could
at this
be.
point,
That could be.
it's one of those things where when you are on the beyond hot seat, like you like you can't even sit down. It just hurts if you sit down. Um, who else are you gonna? You gonna get a bunch of 4 stars and 5 stars to say yes? No, no one's even considering you. But there might be some 3 stars that they're like, oh my goodness, I get a chance to play at Florida State.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't care who the coach is. I want that offer, right? And I want to sign on the dotted line before he gets fired. Um, you know, if he were to make it that far. So I think it's one of those things that it's more than expected that we would not only be losing our higher ranked recruits, but would have to be filling it, because it's not like Mike can just say, even though Mike might know internally, I'm probably going to lose my job. He can't run the program like he is,
No,
because then it ruins his
he can't do
optics
what
for another
Jimbo
job.
did. He can't do what Jimbo did.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to set himself up for negative PR for other jobs. So when you have that happen, and unlike Jimbo, he didn't have another job like lined up, another head coaching job, right? He's going to have to probably go be a coordinator somewhere or be a head coach of a lower tier school. So of course, it like a player should, when they're on a losing team, still put on good tape. Mike still wants to put on the equivalent of good tape, which is, hey, I'm still trying, I'm still making an effort, which is admirable, I suppose. But this is why I hate it.
Let's go back to your question.
Oh, me answer it?
No. Not just you, but everybody in the chat as well. So welcome everybody in the chat, and we're going to shout out some people here in a moment. But we want to know your opinion on this too. Ryan asked me already, did the win on Saturday have any make me change my mind in any way from the way I'm thinking now? And the answer is currently no.
Yeah. And, it sucks that that's the answer. It really does. Number one offense in the country. Here's what I have to harp on this for a second.
No, you have to, because you sent that to me, and I know what you sent to me about that, but none of that post is a lie. It's all factual.
But sure. So it would be the equivalent of, and for those who don't know, Florida State put out a tweet saying like number one offense in the country. And even if factually that's just, you can't prove it wrong. That's true. It's like if your business announced they were closing after 30 years, but then they were posting on their social media like, we love our people. You might love your people, but now's not the time because everyone knows you're closing. If I'm the social media manager, and I'm going to tell you, like, if I was actually in that job, let me put on I'm the social media manager of that.
Okay, and then remind me to give you the counter. Go ahead.
So I'm the social media manager. I know what the fan base is feeling right now, and I know what likely is to happen. Obviously, it's not like I can post like #fire Mark Norvell as the social media manager. But what I can do is post things related to like the great human beings we have in our organ, like spotlight a player, or hey, photo up at a local school, or other sports. But what you can't do is, and what I wouldn't do if I was social media manager, is pretend like it's awesome, like everything's fantastic. Like putting out that tweet, Vince, even if factually true, you're asking for every single comment underneath that to be 4-4, fire Mike Norvell, because everyone knows that offense, the number one offense, is based really upon the two terrible teams we played after Alabama. If you take those two games out in which we scored 1 million points, we're not the number one offense.
Well, what are the stats without those two games?
I mean, you just have to know the skew, Vince. If most of the time, well, you have to assume that most of our games, would you say, have been around 30-ish points.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but then you would have to.
80 points is going to skew it.
but then I would counter and say, if you're going to do that, then you have to do that to every team and take out their easiest games and take out all of their stats too. Then if we do that, then we can, and I don't necessarily care that Florida State's the number one offense. I don't care about that. I'm just saying that
I think it's poor timing.
It's factually correct. And it is also, I mean, you gave me some examples there of what should the social media people put out. I mean, they're not going to go into hiding. They're not going to just like, woe is me. Let's just all be under a rock until something. I know. I'm glad. That's why I said you gave me some examples, and those are all positive things. But you know what? There would be someone else with the same mentality that you have right now. It'll say, I don't give a crap about photos at a school. I don't give a crap about all the great things our guys are doing. Like it's the same to me.
I think it's different for me because bragging about football performance when your team sucks is weird. There's other things you can brag about the people on the team, the human being aspect of it, the facility, the new facility that is spotlight a specific area that in which they're building something like, hey, this new area where they rehab, let's check it out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's other things you can focus on than saying, look how amazing we are at football when we're at 500.
Yeah.
It's just tone deaf, I think.
Pull up the super chat.
It's way up there, huh? Let's see. I love it. Always got to support the one and only show that speaks the truth. Best FSU show on YouTube. I do appreciate that. That is
Well, that's
awesome.
really, really nice. I don't know if we're the only ones that speak the truth.
I
I
know
will
you
say,
know what you mean, though.
yeah, I will say that neither one of us like if you look at the two of us, it's kind of the premise of this show, right? Ryan is the more what would you say, high and low, volatile, a little bit more up and down. I'm the more even keel person.
Yeah,
But
and we don't
neither one
change.
of but neither one of us are gonna say crap just to say it, right? Like we're gonna say what we really think, and if we have information, we're gonna deliver it.
And we both know the shows that likely referencing not all the FSU shows because there are some that I really enjoy, but we understand like the ones that are clearly clickbaity and
Yeah,
clearly like let's talk about something that is like it doesn't even matter. Like I don't know.
there's a
We all
lot of
know those
that out
people.
there, and a lot of the guys, a lot of the people that are running those shows catch a lot of flack for that, and I don't necessarily think that they care. Um, they may have a different mindset goal of what they're
Right.
trying to do, right? You and I, Ryan, we're on a slow burn here. Like we're not gonna we're not gonna we're not gonna jeopardize the show, like what people think about the show, just to get
I think you
clicks. You know
mean
what I'm saying?
we're not gonna bastardize the show at
Yeah,
this for the sake of clicks.
but I mean, and there have been some things that you and I have talked about, like it's like, should we really post that because we're not really sure, you know? But we always talk about those things and not necessarily just throw them out there to get clicks. But I get, thank you for the sentiment on that. We try to be as real as we can be. We really do. Um,
This is the greatest compliment you give me, Tomcat. This is no Paul Feinbaum show. Thank you.
that's right. Although, you know, if my ears keep growing as I get older, because they tell you, you know, your ears never stop growing, I can maybe reach the Paul Feinbaum level there. Somebody posted something here a little bit ago. I'm going to pull it up because I want to make sure I
Another super chat from my man.
oh, another
Again,
five.
thank you.
Yeah. I'll update our update there in a second, but thank you so much. Yeah. We're going to preach a little bit every now and then. CJ also earlier it said Ironclad had a mustache on the avatar in the thumbnail, and that's not a mustache, although it looks like a mustache. You'll have to look at the thumbnail, Ryan. So when I generated the image, for some reason, it generates like teeth in the mouth as being transparent, and I have to remember to tell it not to do that, and I forgot. So well, I moved Ryan's little image there, and it looks like he's got this Fu Manchu mustache. It looks pretty good.
Nice. Daniel Gorby. And this is what also very nice of everyone tonight. This show is like therapy for me each and every week over the last few years.
It's it's actually therapy for you and I, Ryan. To be honest.
Yeah, here's the thing. Vince and I started this show, and these are kind of shows that we can do when your team's not doing awesome. Um, when Vince and I started this show, it was simply out of we never thought anyone would watch. We thought maybe
That's
friends
for
and
real.
family,
That's for real.
and really it was just like, hey, we talk about this at work all the time. We should just put it out there and see what hits. And honestly, I'm not even joking. For anyone who's ever, this is a word of encouragement for anyone who's ever thought about doing a podcast. For the first 2 years, we had less than 20 followers, guys. For 2 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
We
did
kept
not
doing it though.
did not detract us because we had fun doing it and it was good practice. And slowly but surely, we were upgrading our equipment, and we were like, okay, this is at least fun for us. Like, it looks more professional the more the longer we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then around like year 3, oh, we have 200 subs. Like, that's really, we thought that was like 200 people are wanting to hear what we have to say. That's really neat. And then it was really year 4 that kicked into high gear. And now, is this year 5? I think it's year 5.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, the climb has been
The slow burn,
continuous.
the slow climb. It's been steady. I mean, every now and then you'll drop a few subscribers, but
But I do encourage everyone, if you ever thought about doing a podcast, don't get discouraged at 6 months, at a year. If you're sitting at 20 subs, you have to keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it, because eventually those same 20 people that show up every week will become 30 and then 40. And then
yeah,
half the people in this chat have been here since the beginning.
yeah, there are, and just like you said, who the heck would want to sit for an hour and talk about whatever? Well, there are people. There are millions, billions of people in the world, and the majority of them are all connected to the internet. So you're going to find your niche, and I recommend. And Ryan, I will support you for sure.
We have like Rock and Noel, for instance, very good channel. If anyone of you want to check out another Noel fan,
awesome channel. All right, back to the talk. So, yeah, we lost Jay Timmons today, and
yeah,
had the season been going differently, I don't think we lose that. But once season started to go the way it's going, there's a great chance, whether Mike is the coach now or he was already let go, there's enough like instability around all that this year's class is not going to be. It's going to be right in line with all the other ones. How about that?
Yeah, because guess what? No matter who comes in and takes the head coaching job, you'll get a little bit of a surge. We'll end up in that like 18th or 25th ranked class just by the name and the NIL budget. So the good news is it won't be any worse than what we've been doing the whole time Mike's been here, which is part of the reason why Vince and I still believe, hey, nothing changes with the Wake Forest win. It's still best to change, because the problem was, the reason why we're in this position is because the recruiting has been the exact same every single year. And it's amazing to admit that if you were to lose your head coach, likely your recruiting ranking at the end of the recruiting cycle would be the exact same. That's not a good sign that's not a feather in the cap of the current coach. Let's just say that.
I mean, if everything stays as is right now, you're probably right about that. But let's entertain the thought, because I think the next question is there anything that could happen between now and the end of the season that would change your mind? And I believe that if the team wins out, it's going to be really tough to let him go.
I even can get on board with that, but even one loss derails that.
Yeah, so could be. That could
In fact,
be
any of
because
those losses have a potential of that Sunday him being fired. Like, you almost feel like the admin is sitting there saying, we're getting our ducks in the row, we're getting everything figured out, getting everything lined up behind the scenes. And then if he were to lose another game in an ugly fashion, well, then perfect timing. We've
yeah.
had time. We've got some things in a row. The more
Speaking
and
of
more
rock
time
and
that's gone.
Noel,
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Rock and Noel's here tonight. What's
Still
up,
not
Rock?
booked the cruise. What's funny is, Vince, is that despite our calls and wants for Mike Norvell, changes the guard, it was a weird game outcome, I would say, last week. I would say, even in my wildest expectations, based on what I had seen the last 3 games before that, I would have said at best case scenario, you win like, I don't know, like 30-21 or something like that. Like, you win, but it's not like this convincing fashion. You took the hammer to them. So here's the thing: at no point have Vince and I said the team is quit.
No, I don't
We've
think
seen
they
teams
have.
quit. This wasn't like last year's team was like, they would take the field and you're like, they don't care to be here at all. This year, there's a lot of players that you can tell truly still care about, if nothing else, performing and
Yeah,
putting
I
the
don't
tape
I
on.
don't I don't care specifically what they care about as long as they
Yeah,
care. If
right.
it's about if it's about them individually and what they're putting on tape, fine. If it's about, the team, the program, great. If it's about the coaching staff, whatever. If it's just about just that's just who they are as a person, then good. I really, it doesn't matter to me the reasons behind the caring, just that they care. Um, that game started out very strangely.
Yeah, it did.
It was um, it just didn't start out quickly, as far as Florida State's concerned. And Wake Forest did themselves no favors with all the penalties they had.
Well, that's what I was
Um,
going to say is that Wake, in the first quarter, multiple opportunities to score. Like called back plays, long runs, call back for a whole, like things that were uncharacteristic of Wake. That were like, man, they kind of shot themselves in the foot on that drive, and we score. And
yeah,
then they do it again, and then we score, and like, okay, it's 14-0. That was it was a very odd game.
yeah. Nothing happened, and then we were on top of them, and there was nothing that they could do at that point to get caught up. I think the defense played pretty well. Um, it's a shame they didn't get a shutout. And somebody posted in here about the backup quarterback. Who was it here? The question I'm glad somebody asked at the press conference: Who the hell is the backup quarterback? Um, you know, Kevin Sperry has already played in 4 games, I think, this year. So it could be that might be a reason why they are putting Brock in, or maybe Brock's been doing better. I mean, who knows what the reason is? I think we all believe that Sperry would be the number 2, right? If it was something like,
The game was on the line.
if the game was on the line, Sperry would have been in the game, in my opinion.
My guess, Vince, is that they know Castellanos is still not 100%. And when you're that far ahead, you put Brock Glenn in because there's no reason to get your backup even potentially injured,
Yeah.
and you save them in case something happens to Castellanos. I mean, that's my best guess of the situation. But listen, no
And
matter what, it was
yeah,
a surprise. It's not like I can sit here and say I'm so pissed we won. I'm never going to say that about a Florida State game.
yeah,
What I will be frustrated about is if we son of a bitch we went out and then we're stuck for another year in the depths of 20th ranked classes for another year or two. I don't think
listen,
I don't think that's a good idea, no matter what.
yeah, I know you don't. There's an opposing side to that, of course, saying that this may not be the best time for Florida State to be, in the fishing pond, as it were.
I think. See, I'm going to go the other way on that. I think this is a good time for Florida State to be in the fishing pond to either go my way, and I'm not going to rehash that again of who I want, but the fishing pond would kind of force them to go to and no one would be mad if they went to a lower level coach or an up and coming coach, because who else, like, it's not like it's littered with Hall of Fame coaches out there.
Yeah,
Um, and people, I think, are smart enough to understand that, like, there's like 2 top tier, like what you would consider traditionally top tier coaches out there right now available, and a
yeah.
whole lot of like baggage guys. And so this is a ripe opportunity, in my opinion. And the question of people asking, like, how do you know the next coach
You
isn't going to
don't.
be worse than we don't, and you will never know. But what I do know is that Mike has proven he's not the guy. We can give another coach a chance to prove he is. And I think this will be a perfect opportunity with fan support to go get someone who's maybe not a big name, but that has a good up and coming career and can inject some life in this. I've always been a fan, Vince, of going, if you are going the up and coming route, I've always been a fan of getting that younger coach,
Mm,
spunky, like late 30s, very early
yeah,
40s. Like Mike is a perfect age of the kind of coach I like, because he's still got that, like, energy to do this. And I think college football now more than ever I don't think it's built for
I
not
don't
for a
know.
head coach to
I
take
don't know.
over. If you are a head coach that can come and be a pure CEO and hire everyone around you, let's say Mike take a step back 4 years ago and said, um, let's hire everyone else and a bunch of young guns to be my assistant coach. Then I'm fine with like a Mac Brown situation, right? He wasn't doing the day to day stuff. He had people around him. That can work if you hire the right people around you. But if you're the kind of coach that is going to come in as an offensive coordinator, which many people will want to be the head, the play caller. A lot of head coaches, up and coming head coaches, are going to be a head coach because they're fantastic offensive or defensive
And
coordinators.
that's what they're comfortable with because that's what they've been doing.
Right. And they're going to usually do that until it's proven otherwise that's not going to work. So in that scenario, uh, yeah, get an up and coming guy that give him a chance. And no one would feel bad about it because it's not like you got, 7 other big profile coaches that you can go get right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hashtag Dave Aranda.
Mike, unfortunately, we have quite the track record as far as the recruiting is concerned, and that's the only thing, to me, it's the only thing that makes me look at it and go, this is not, the long-term Florida State thing. But you do run the risk whenever you change coaches, you just do not know what you're going to get. And, regardless of what we think from a Florida State fan perspective, from a history perspective, from a program perspective, Mike Norvell is one of the better coaches in the country right now. Is he one of the greatest recruiters? No. But as far as being, a guy that can build a program and a culture, yeah, he is one of the better ones out there.
He would
So,
get hired right now somewhere else.
yeah, he would absolutely. Let's do some shout outs, Ryan.
Real quick before the shout outs, I don't want to throw in there. I told you this already in 2 weeks ago show. I wouldn't hate Kenny Dillingham.
No, yeah, he not leaving.
Bring the bamboo here is what I'm saying here.
Tomcat, my friend. He was at the 25-yard line and never did see Vince go by. Were you on the home side or the away side? Because if you're on the home side, I'm easy to pick out. I got my nice turquoise hat on. Actually, Ryan, I sent a little post to Ryan after, I think it was Sunday. Your boy made it to the FSU promotion after the homecoming game. I'm in it.
Yeah, the YouTube video they put out.
The YouTube video. So go check that out.
The back of Vince's head is in it.
The back of my head is in that video at the 10-second mark. So Brett Taylor, welcome, Brett Taylor. Managed to get here live. Howdy, brother. Hypothetically, he says, is there a better chance to make the playoffs in 2027 with Mike turning it around or with Mike being fired and FSU hiring a whole new staff, not just a new coach? There's a better chance that we make the playoffs if Mike doesn't get fired, because you're starting from absolute ground zero there.
So here's the thing.
You don't know what you're getting.
You don't know what you're getting, but with the modern transfer portal, it's not impossible.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, Vince, and then we're back into that. We're going to be back into that anyway with a new coach.
You have to understand, though, for a new coach, year one would be totally understandable to do it. No one would hate on year one coach.
I agree with you.
Tired.
I agree with you.
All it takes is getting a Fisk and all these other guys in here.
That's all it takes.
But it can be we have seen so many teams look at Virginia. Look how lucky ass Virginia is right now. Look at all Virginia's wins, and you're like, son of a bitch, they still won. So you can get lucky with. You can be right now. If anyone thinks that last season Indiana had a bunch of hosses recruiting wise, you're out of your mind. So you just never know in college football. It can happen.
It can.
But with Mike Norvell, the only way for him to get to that point is by miracle.
He's got, again, I'll just put this out there. Clip this. Coach Norvell, I want it to work out. Have always wanted it to work out. Why hasn't the recruiting gotten better? That is the one chink in the armor.
And why haven't
I
you
just,
hired someone to make it
I
better?
don't understand. Brett Taylor says it moved him statistically from 0 to a 1-digit percentage of hope after the win this weekend. Mike needs to go even if he wins out, according to New to This. K-Dog really enjoyed the win on Saturday. If we keep winning, he will continue to be happy.
I like this comment right here from Brett Taylor. All it takes is getting 150 mil donation from Spanx.
And
Yes.
that is, yeah, we all saw that, right? If you're on social media, you saw quite a bit of hoopla about Sarah Blakely and her family being basically royalty at the game this past weekend.
They should have introduced Mike and been like, "Hey, this is Sarah. She's the one that's helping raise for your buyout. Good to meet you. If she gave $150 million tomorrow, I would wear Spanx on the show."
That's right. She should be actually Spanx should be a sponsor of this show.
Yeah.
They should. She should, and the company should. Kenny Trill, yeah. If the defense cared to show up, we would at least be 6-2 right now. I would think, yeah. Let's see who else we got here. Tomcat. We talked about Tomcat. New to this. Rock and Noel. We said Rock and Noel's here. Moving on. I think we got everybody so far. Daniel Gorby is here. John Summerall would be a good hire, but fan base would lose it.
Pat Summerall would be even better.
Hey, listen, the fan base is going to lose it anyway. No, Kenny, I know you said 7-1. I'm saying 6-2. I know what you wrote. But I would leave a little bit of leeway there just in case. So I would say we'd at least be 6-2.
Let's talk. We gotta leave time to talk the Clemson game. It's Clemson week, and we don't care.
Hold on. Before we get to Clemson, we got to talk about homecoming a little bit.
That's all you, my brother.
Yeah. So, weather pristine. We stayed at this nice Airbnb, kind of near a little bit, not that far from where the governor's mansion is. It was an older home, just really well done. It's for sale, by the way, for a reasonable price. Mansion? No, that should be for sale. And so we were in that place for two nights. It was really nice. Went to an event on Friday evening with the Alumni Chiefs. Well done there. The food was great. They had this big container, Ryan, of
beer.
Madison Social BLT dip.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Which was really, really phenomenal.
Though I wouldn't be able to get out of my head a lot of double dipping the chip.
Yeah, you kind of had to take it onto your plate. You're not just going to stand at the buffet and dip in the bowl.
I would, yeah.
Well, you would do that. Saturday, we had a great tailgate right outside of Chiefs Field. That's lot 7. We didn't do our tailgate in lot 12 because of all the stuff that was going on with the Chiefs. So we were in lot 7 with Ryan. I can't believe you're missing this. All of the beverages that were sponsored by the Palace Saloon for the tailgate. It was ridiculous how much they gave us to give out to people. And I want to shout out a young Nole that saw me struggling with cases and flats of beer and seltzers and a cooler, and I was not going to make it to the tailgate, and he walked by, and I said, "Hey, you want to help an old man out?" He's like, "Sure." So he helped me carry all that stuff to the tailgate from lot 12 to lot 7. Can't remember his name right now. I had a few to drink at the time, so but you know who you are because I pointed him out to the show.
You should post on Misconnections on Craigslist.
Yeah, Misconnections. And then, playing with the Chiefs was fun. Saw a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. As we're marching in to the stadium, I'm kicking back. I think it was an Ultra at the time.
Mick Ultra is the way to go on a long day that you want to be prepared for.
Yeah, so we're kind of marching along, and I finished it off, and I wanted to throw it away, so I kind of got out of the formation there and went to throw it away. And as I'm throwing it away, another guy or a guy just watching says, "Here you go. You want another one?" So a fun part of being in the alumni band is people giving you stuff as you march in. The
Yeah.
Chiefs can't do that, right? The Chiefs can't. But Shannon was the welcome recipient of some Jello shots on the way into the stadium as well.
There.
And I think I sent you a photo. Did I send you the photo of me and the legend Byron Wells?
Yeah.
So I saw Byron Wells on the way in the stadium as well. So got to take a photo with him. If you don't know who Byron Wells is, look up.
You also met Breeze Fry.
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
Met my buddy Breeze Fry,
who's not here tonight. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, longtime viewer of the program. He got to hang out at the tailgate as well. We had a large group of people there, man. It was really, really a lot of fun.
He sent me a message thanking me for the seats.
Yeah, that's good.
And a picture of him and his wife. And he said, actually, I want to bring up, keep talking, Vince, because I want to bring up his wording. And I really thought it was hilarious. And I wanted to read it on the show.
That's fine. Yeah.
I forget what he messaged me, but it was quite funny. I think it was on Facebook.
So I just wanted to let everybody know, homecoming, it was just a great day all around. And, seeing people you haven't seen before, the weather, the team won big. I didn't even really watch most of the game because I was too busy interacting with people I hadn't seen. So I actually had to watch the game after I got home. I caught some of the game, but not a lot of it. And then the next morning, we did the Marching Chiefs 5K Sunday morning, which they do every Sunday morning after the homecoming game. So we participated in that, and I just love being in God's country. We had a great time, Ryan, and I am just so sorry that you have not been able to enjoy any games this year.
Yeah, it's been a struggle on the games front. I'm going to add a new layer real quick, Vince.
It's fine.
Because I want to show the people what they came to see. The post was that good. I want to show it with the people. So
yeah,
let's bring it up here.
While you're bringing that up, folks are still trying to hit the goal. Oh, there you go.
So for those of you watching, this is
funny. Yeah.
So Breeze Fry, I gave last week's show a pair of tickets and the parking pass, and he tagged me in this post. And my reply to him was, actually, I think it came out perfectly.
Yeah.
So Breeze, I wish you were here tonight, but it was very nice of you to post that, and I'm so glad that you and your wife had a good time. I'm happy you guys got to go.
Yeah. Moving on to Clemson. While we're moving on to the Clemson game here, for those of you that are new to the show, the goals that you see there are just our weekly goal. So you can contribute to that goal if you feel like you want to by super chatting us on YouTube. So there's a little $ there, and get your comment in there and get your comment read like our buddies did earlier in the show, Mr. Daniel Gorby and CJ.
You know what I'm sad about, Vince, is that normally on Clemson week, Florida State Clemson week, you're just like, man, what a big time week.
Oh, you're feeling it, right?
Have you felt anything?
No.
In fact, today when I was getting ready for the show, I was like, oh yeah, we're playing Clemson. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I will be driving back in a U-Haul listening to the game on audio in the truck in the U-Haul. But yeah, that's unfortunate that I don't feel anything for the game this week.
Obviously, I feel a little bit of not anxiety, but because Like you don't. It's like an unknown. You just don't know what you're going to get. It's like Florida State can score a lot of points, but is their defense actually going to show up? Right. Clemson has been pretty much, abysmal on the defensive side of the ball pretty much all season as well. Um, and Florida State, I think Clemson is a 2.5 point favorite, maybe, or maybe 1.5 point favorite. But if you look at the matchup predictor, you're actually predicting Florida State to win the game.
Tyler
But I
from
don't know.
Spartanburg would not be pleased.
But I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. We are going to have some friends over here, some Knoll friends over here Saturday night to watch the game, have a little watch party here.
Listen, it will always be a good thing if we beat Clemson. But I do, Brett Taylor is right. Florida State fans think that Clemson will likely win. Clemson fans think that Florida State will likely win. That sounds about right. Two very defeated fan bases.
Yeah,
So much so that it's on the ACC network, which will hurt your feelings. And how about Vince? YouTube TV still not a done deal with the ESPN agreement. That's wild. I thought usually those things is like usually you lose the channel for like an hour and then the next
or
day
like a
they're like,
day, maybe, or like a
yeah.
day.
But no, they're apparently ESPN's not having they're not having it. So we're not going to lower it. And YouTube
Yeah,
TV standing still. So it makes me happy that I just did the ESPN Plus, which, by the way, I guarantee you a big reason why ESPN isn't maybe as quick to come to the table pricing wise is because they have the ESPN bundle
sure.
now.
It gives them more leverage because they have their own delivery
Yeah,
way to the people. Champs 998. I don't think I've seen that name in here, at least for a while. FSU will beat Clemson.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. So Clemson
Maybe.
gets points for home field. Usually it's like 3 points, right? 2 to 3 points. So really, they're calling it a pick'em game. Um, and I would not be surprised either way on
No
this
matter
on
what,
this
Dabo
weekend.
will not be pleased with the officiating.
That's true. And not only will he not be pleased, he will bring up years past on how things were always so great in the old days there. So yeah, I don't know what to really think about that. I mean, obviously, I want Florida State to win. It is very funny to me that Clemson and Florida State, the teams that sued the conference because of the shenanigans, um, are relegated to playing an ACC network game for their matchup.
Oh, I'm sure the
Um,
ACC old school people in North Carolina just love it.
yeah, and you know what? That's also been very funny watching the social media realm just blow up after the college football pageant rankings came out on Tuesday. It was very funny watching Virginia fans and
Georgia
Georgia
Tech.
Tech fans and all these other ACC fans of other teams all of a sudden realize that, wait a minute, maybe we're not all playing on a level playing field here.
Yeah, they
You
seem very
think?
surprised.
You think? This is what we've been telling you.
By the way,
And
those same
yes,
fans of those same teams were like, "Yeah, Florida State probably shouldn't have gotten in."
yeah, and whatever on that. I mean, you all laughed. You all laughed about it, and then you laughed because Florida State rightly, that team rightly, a number of those guys opted out of the bowl game, and then you saw what happened in the bowl game. It was nothing more than a farce, right? So yeah,
Now,
there
I
is
can
not a
make the
level
argument.
playing field. There is not. There's not a level playing field, and this is why Florida State and Clemson. One of the reasons why Florida State and Clemson did what they did. It is not possible to compete at the level that you want to compete at without the proper resources.
Yeah. Back to the game, Vince. I will say this about this week's game. I mean, clear as day, momentum wise, Florida State, you would say, has the momentum going into the game because coming off a win, no matter the matchup, if you had two bad teams that were around the same record, I would say I would always take the team in that when they play each other who has any kind of momentum, positive momentum. And even if we don't feel as fans positive momentum as the program, it's impossible for those players on offense not to be like, we put up 49 points. Suck
Yeah.
it, you know?
I don't think the team, to be honest with you, I don't think that the team, especially that side of the ball, I don't think they lack any confidence.
No,
I
sometimes
don't.
overconfidence they have a little bit of when we were thinking we were, the head chef in the early part of the season, talking a lot of smack. But that is the most frustrating part about the season is I do think this offense is a good offense when healthy.
It, it's better than good.
Yeah, I just what I don't like about the offense is if you get behind, which the games we lost, you got behind early. It's very hard, and other shows have talked about this. Our offense is built for either keeping one, hey, you score, we score, you score, we score, or getting up early and then controlling the game clock. If you get down, and I've tried to run, by the way, for one season in NCAA football, the video game, I tried to run exactly like this season, and I had the same frustrations as like real football. Is that when you got down, it was a whole lot of RPO and a whole lot of like one read slants,
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh no, I need 4 or 5 different reads on this, and I need to be able to work the ball down the field in multiple different ways. And I had to change the offense because of that. And you see that when we get down, it's like all the teams that we play are like, oh, this is on the passing front going to be a slant, a quick slant after a read option, or it's going to be a deep ball or something in or a post, and
Yeah.
they play off that.
I don't want to minimize at all the fact that a lot of that time frame where we were struggling had much to do with Tommy's wheels not being where they needed to be. So,
Yeah,
I'm of the opinion that he was hurt more than people know.
they should have played Sperry then.
Um, maybe, maybe, but it seems like he's starting to get a little bit of that get off back. So, when your offense was so predicated on his ability and you weren't able to capitalize on that, yeah, it's easier for the defense to kind of lock in on other things.
Yeah,
Um, but Deuce has been coming into his own. He started out great, but in the last couple of games, man, he has really taken off.
what a waste though for this season.
Yeah, I mean, we think that as fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not wasting it.
No, I'm
Like,
talking just like eh, great, an amazing player. It's Cam Akers on Willie Taggart's team. You're like, oh, that's nice.
I
That's fun.
understand. I understand. I understand. Maybe he'll come back.
Uh, Not impossible with the right coach. That's the thing you really have to keep in mind if we do fire Mike Norvell is God. It really just it depends on who they get. Even if it's a relatively unknown, if that guy can sell a vision to these players, you have
Mm.
a healthy NIL budget with which we do, you probably could retain a lot of people, which is why I just am very interested to see what happens. And I do think, Vince, I 100% agree with you. If Mike Norvell wins out, he's not getting fired. How could
Yeah,
you? Because then
I
you would look
think
at the season in totality and say,
eight and
uh,
four,
8-4 is better than most people even predicted. For
correct.
the season,
Now it
and
sucks. It sucks that the four happened in a row.
I promise you, people here, I promise you, including me, Wake Forest didn't move the needle that much for me. It's like it's Wake, we should beat them. Um, Even a bad Clemson team and a bad Florida team, if you beat both those teams at the end of the year, you'll feel different than you do right now about the
Yeah,
team.
you will, and then unfortunately, so let's play it out. Let's say that that they win out. 8-4, and everybody is feeling a little bit better. There's always going to be the people that are like, he needs to go no matter what. I don't care, and I get that. But what's going to end up happening is, as fans, we're going to look back at, it's really a shame that the Virginia game happened, like the way that happened, with Deuce bobbling that ball, right?
And Stanford, that was a touchdown.
And there's no way that you should lose to Stanford. And even though you played the way you did, you still scored on that last play, right? And so we're going to have these thoughts in our mind about, well, damn, and
you can talk
and that's
yourself into it,
and that's unfortunate. But because you don't remember that when we were in the middle of the 4-game losing streak, how miserable everybody was.
It's just going to feel better if you beat Clemson in Florida. You're going to come out of that Florida game and be like, all your Gator fans and online and like, having fun with it. Guys, let's not joke around here. If we beat Clemson this week, we're going to be chirping online.
Well, there's no doubt that, because it's Clemson, right?
Yeah.
And regardless of the season they're having right now and the one we're having, it's still a pseudo rivalry to a degree. Brett Taylor, I agree with you. If you're a bettor, stay far away from this game. I think as a bettor, you should stay far away from Nole games in general for this year. Because who knows?
I bet on one game, the Alabama game, and I won $700.
There you go. And that was the one. You got it in there.
Maybe I cursed the team by doing that.
I don't know. Any final super chats? I need to give away some memberships tonight, I think. What do you think, Ryan? Should we give some away?
We got to give something to the people for the membership, though.
It's true, but I still want to keep the memberships going. I know we haven't done a members-only show in a while. But now that Ryan is semi-stationary,
starting Sunday, the only thing I'm thinking about right now, Vince, is have you secured the beer garden for the Georgia Southern game?
I'm close. I need to check in with my contact there. Speaking of Georgia Southern, looks like the women's team is going to beat Georgia Southern's women's team 77-68. So that was a very close game up until the very end there. But yeah, so Ryan brings up something that we've talked about. Ryan and I are going to be going to a Georgia Southern game because my daughter goes to school there, and that game will be on November 22nd. We're gonna do a show from the Georgia Southern tailgate, and that'll be fun. So Ryan and I are also going on a cruise in December, right, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
We're still waiting to hear from our buddy Rock and Noel if he's going.
I think we're going to call it. I don't think
we're going to call it on him. Yeah. All right. So let me give some of these. If you're watching on X right now and you want a YouTube membership, get on over to YouTube. I'm going to give these away. I can give 10 of these away every month. Sending 5 right now. You don't have to do anything. It just will find you.
And maybe I'll do a members only show sometime next week once I'm settled. The holidays are coming up, and I do want to let people know as we approach the holidays, Vince and I don't miss a show. Although we will have a pre-recorded show ready to go for Thanksgiving, there will be a show. We'll likely not do it live on Thanksgiving, but probably a show the day before or 2 days before, and then debut it on the Thanksgiving holiday. We don't miss a week, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what, we find a way to do the show.
There's always something to talk about. So
yeah,
Suzanne Bajor, congratulations. Friends call me Sean. Friends call me Sean. You've been quiet tonight. Friends call me Sean. You've got a membership. J-Dub. Also did not see you in the chat, but you've got a membership now for a month.
Quiet too.
Mr. Riz P. I know
He's too depressed after the loss.
Riz P is quiet, and I feel for you, my brother. I feel for you.
The
So
U is
congratulations
back.
on that. And
They say it
CHJ229
every year. The U
gets a
is back.
membership, and those memberships last for a month. And then if you choose to go on from there, we appreciate it. All those funds go toward keeping the show running. That is for sure.
Well, Vince, it's been a absolute pleasure. I want to thank our sponsor, Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach, for all your deep sea fishing needs. I also want to thank the Palace Saloon to be our official game day sponsor of the Garnet Old Show.
Ooh.
Dear friend of ours runs the place, and I'm happy for him that the business is doing well and that they're sponsoring us. Thank you, sir, and thank you to all the fans who participated tonight, commented tonight, and thanks for the super chats. It's been real.
Yeah, everybody, we will see you soon. And in the meantime, send Chiefs all the damn time, and go Noles.
Go Knowles, everyone. Have a good night.